Hey everyone, it's Treasure back with the Be the Revolution podcast, and today I have an exciting special guest, Miss Mikayla Moore.
Hi everyone, I'm Mikayla. I'm 21 years old and I am a professional motorcycle racer. I started when I was 6 years old on a Yamaha TTR 50. What started out as family fun later turned into me becoming a two-time undefeated Build Train Race champion and also a AMA Female Racer of the Year. I started doing mini moto, and then that later turned into getting the opportunity to do track days at 12 years old with Evolve GT, and then I progressed and got into the racing world with CCS and ASRA, and that turned into now racing with Moto America, and I'm super happy to be the two-time undefeated BTR champion. And yeah, this season has been going pretty well for me, and I'm super happy to be doing this podcast.
First off, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. If you don't mind, you want to go ahead and get right into the questions?
Sure.
All right. Congrats on being named AMA Female Racer of the Year. How does it feel to be recognized for your hard work?
For me, it definitely feels a lot to me because, being in this space and being a woman of color, it is hard for your accomplishments to get recognized. And so to get recognized with that Female Racer of the Year, as it's a lot of nominations, you have to get nominated for it. And to be the recipient of the award, I was super happy to receive that.
Great. And follow-up question, what does this award mean to you personally?
It means a lot because, as I mentioned, being a woman of color, I have the younger generation and other females looking up to me and things of that nature. And so it means a lot.
As one of the few women competing at the top level in road racing, what have been some of the biggest obstacles you faced as a female athlete, and how do you overcome them?
For me, I would say I didn't really have too many obligations or challenges. Of course, the main one is mental. There's weekends where you want to win and you want to be at the top of the podium, and you just have to. If you don't make it to the top of the podium, but still make it on the podium, or if you have a mechanical or crash or anything of that nature, or your weekend is just not going how you want it to go. For me, I just try my best to stay in a positive attitude because the mind can play tricks on, and if you feed into the negative side, then it doesn't really make anything better. But if you at least feed into the positive side, I just feel that eventually the weekend you'll have your breakthrough.
I think my biggest challenge with the guys is not being taken serious. Mm-hmm. They don't take me serious at all, and it's so annoying. I can say I want to learn something. For 2 weeks straight, and then every time it's, I didn't know you wanted to learn that.
Yeah.
No. Well, I'm just standing here waiting.
Yeah. As if I haven't been saying it for the last 2 weeks.
You don't take me serious at all. It's so annoying. Winning the Moto America Build Train Race Championship in 2023 was a huge accomplishment. Can you walk us through the journey to that title and some of the biggest challenges you faced along the way?
So I joined Build Train Race in 2023, and I initially found out about the program in 2021. I actually got an email from Melissa Paris and Brianne Poland, and they were they ran that program for flat track. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, flat track is not my genre or style of riding. So, but I was like, what is Royal Enfield? One, I've never heard of that manufacturer. I know Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, and all those other manufacturers. And so I was like, well, who's Royal Enfield, number one? And then two, this program that you guys are doing, it's about, women in racing or bringing women to racing. And, we pretty much build a bike, we train them and race them. So cool. I'm like, I need more information about it. At the same time that in 2021, I had a full season with club racing on the amateur level. And so I was just like, I would like to know more information. Unfortunately, I didn't get the information back in time, and so I was like, you know what, it's okay. I still have my road racing, which is what I do anyway. And then 2022, I took a year off of racing. It was like, just because we spent a lot of time riding. Our weekends would be Fridays we leave, Saturday and Sunday we're gone, and then Monday we're back home. And so at the same time, we still have family events that was going on, and so we were missing a lot of those events. And then for 2023, one of my friends did, Kaylee Bike, she did that program in 2022. And I was like, tell me about the program, what do you think of it? What do you cover versus what they cover and things of that nature. And she pretty much told me everything. I was like, okay, I'll try it out, And that year I had, in 2023 when that came about, I was like, I have not heard back from Build Train Race. Like, there's no ads saying that applicants or applications are open or anything. So I'm like, is this program even going to be a thing for next year? Like, what is happening? And so because I didn't see anything, and I was even asking some of the ladies that were a part of the program, like, is this going to be a go for next year? And they're like, we don't know because we haven't heard anything back. So I was like, okay, well, at that time I was 20. Yeah, because I'm 20. Yeah, I was 20. And I was like, I need to get my career going in life. And so I had applied to do the FAA air traffic control, and I had got in for that. And all I had to do was just take a test, and that would categorize me of where I would be at in the selection. And then only for Build Train Race to make an Instagram post like, hey, so applications are open. I'm like, what am I going to do? My parents are like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to race. And I want, because Build Train Race was in Motor America in the U.S. is pretty much the highest level of racing. Mm-hmm. So if you're in that, then it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of exposure too. So I'm like, that's been my dream to go there. And I'm like, but my brother's he's a private pilot. And so I was like, I can follow his path in terms of the aviation side of things. Mm-hmm. But then something was like, my parents follow your gut, follow your heart, and something told me just stay with the beat, Build Train Race, and I did that. I applied, but even with applying for it, I was still like, what if they don't accept me? And how do I actually know if I'm gonna get in? And the day that I had, because we had to do you answer questions, and then you record a 2-minute video about yourself. And I'm like, there's so many other women around the United States that can get in for this program. And my parents no, it'll be okay. And every day I was checking my emails, all right, when I'm gonna get something. And then eventually I made it to the next phase. They're like, hey, we've considered you. We now want to do an interview. That didn't mean that I was still locked for the program. I'm like, oh my God. I was on a Zoom call with Freddie Spencer, Scott Ryberg, and Raul, I forgot his last name. And they pretty much run that program. And the whole time I'm just fidgeting. Then they're like, are you nervous? I'm like, I am very much so nervous, And from there, there was I made it out of that step, and I did the program, and I really didn't know what to expect from it because, I'm like, they provide the bikes, they provide our travel, they pretty much are covering everything. And in the beginning, I was like, what's the catch? There has to be something. They say that we get the bikes at the end of the season. There has to be some kind of money involved. But it was not the case. I just had the bike, actually my dad's shop right now. And everything that they said that they were providing, they were going to do, they pretty much stood on business with that and did that. And so, to do that season, it was a pretty good look for me. I remember winning my first race and, and other things that happened for that season. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I went with my heart and chose the racing,
Lesson learned. Always go with your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Today's lesson.
Facts.
The Build Train Race program is all about mentorship and growth.
Yes.
How did the program help you evolve as a rider, and what role did your mentors play in your success?
Build Train Race definitely helped with a lot. So when I was with the program, I was the shy one. I was quiet one, and also I was the youngest. So when I joined, I was 19, and the next person that was older than me was 21. And so I'm just quiet, and at the same time, in the beginning, I didn't really feel out of place, but it was different because I did not see anyone else there like me, besides one of our mechanics. And then, it was okay, just do what you know how to do, work on the bike and things of that nature. And so, it wasn't, I was quiet. And then when I did my interviews, I felt I didn't know how to talk. Cause when we do our podiums, when they give you the microphone, you can hear your echo. And so they were like, how does it feel to, you got your first podium? And I hear the echo. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not going right. I feel I was talking wrong. I was I can hear myself talking, but it's not helping me because it was a delay in it. So I would talk and then it'll say the previous thing I just said. I'm like, oh, this would trip me up. This is gonna I'm gonna be looking. I'm I'm already embarrassed right now. But I can say that it definitely has helped with my speaking engagements now because it's easier for me to come off the top of my head and have a regular conversation and feel confident in me talking. And also because we're all women under the tent, we all help each other because sure, we're racers and we're competition on the track, but when we come back in, it's all about a team. And so there's times where they'll come to me and ask for help, hey, we need this, what gear are you running, or how are you taking this corner, and I'll help them out. But then also our mentors, we had Freddie Spencer. He is a y'all gonna have to put in the typos of how many world champions he got and all this other stuff, because I don't know off the top of my head. But he's he's a well-known racer, and so he played a big role, and he was helping us throughout the season in terms of helping us on the track and off the track, because like I said, racing is mental and it's both physical. And so there would be times where I'd be like, yo, like I'm coming into this corner and the bike is doing this, and he's like, well, maybe if you stop letting off the brakes so soon, it may even that out. And so it was like little things that helped to my big success, but my main person was my dad. We are about family, and so my mom is the driver and things of that nature. And then my brother, he doesn't race anymore, but then my dad, with me being a part of the Build Train Race series, he played a role in pretty much everything that I needed to know that helped me get to where I'm at.
What do you think the reality of being a racer is?
Man, being a racer is a lot, because, other people that are not in racing or in this industry, they watch and they're like, oh, you guys are going around the track and, you guys win and things like that. But the reality of it is, it takes a lot of time and hard work and dedication to get where you're at in racing. And also the reality of it is because at least road racing is so small, because we have other racing that's like overpowering the road racing side of things. It's hard to like get the viewership in terms of just being one racer, or even getting the sponsors, because someone like myself, if I go into Twins Cup and I'm Mikayla Moore being a Twins Cup racer, but you have 3 more other riders that's in that same class, a sponsor would be like, what makes you different than the rest of these other 3? And that's the hard part of trying to prove, because everyone's like, everyone knows like racing, it's an experience. You pay to be there, and you kind of can get an investment back in your return, or you get a return on your investment, but you have to, I guess, find a loophole in doing that. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, this is fun, and I enjoy being in the space, and I know that because racing falls into the motorsports industry, there's so many other things outside of the motorsports, there's so many other things that's in the motorsports industry, but that's outside of racing that you can still get into and still be seen.
Moto America has become a major platform for American road racing. What do you think makes it unique compared to the other series, and how has it shaped your career?
Moto America is definitely is a wonderful series. For me, I did club racing with ASRA, CCS, and WERA. And so with club racing, it's different, because, you show up, everyone shows up, and you race, and then once you race, you go back to your pit, and at the end, you get your award. Whereas Moto America, on the other hand, you have cameras in front of your faces. You have a lot of people tuning in. You have live. It's so many other different things. And also you have they have a television production company they bring in like 3-4 trailers, and they got all like everyone's like working and things like that. And so with Moto America, I feel like it's definitely separates itself from any other racing, because you get to see it live. Yeah. Most people, they are like, I want to see your race, but I can't make it out to your race. Yeah. But watching it via live with Moto America, it makes you feel that you're there even though you're not there. Yeah. So I feel like that's what makes it unique.
Are there any other passions or hobbies you pursue when you're off the bike?
It's funny, because motorcycle is like 24/7 for me. You know what I mean? So when we get back, so my dad has a motorcycle repair shop, and I work with him full time, and so that's my way of staying connected with the bikes. And then also my free time, I have a little bit of free time to do what I want, because for us it's like some weekends, like this season, I did Royal Enfield, they're a motorcycle manufacturer, and they have the demo side of, displaying their bikes at different dealerships. And so I work with them part-time when I'm not racing. And so if I'm not racing, then I'm doing the demo events. And if I'm not doing the demo events, I just have time to myself. I normally just take the time to like walk my dog, go on nature walks, or just do whatever brings me peace. I am a simple person. I'm not the people that say, oh, I gotta go shopping, I gotta go. I'm just real simple. And so, yeah, but for me, I don't know. If I'm not around motorcycles, it's hard to like sit still. Like, I am not an indoor kind of person. I have to be outdoor doing something. I can't sit still for long.
So when I first joined B360, I didn't know anyone, and it was all boys everywhere.
Gotcha.
The only other girls there were the adult employees. So for me, when I went to go get on the bike, I would put in my headphones, put on my favorite music, my favorite playlist, put on my Crocs, staple, Javon knows this. I love to ride in Crocs.
What?
I love to ride in Crocs. They're so comfortable.
You learn something new every day, guys.
They're so comfortable. And they're easy. It's easier for me to switch the gears in Crocs
gotcha.
because they're thinner.
Okay, gotcha.
And sometimes in like sturdier shoes, I don't always feel confident that I've clicked it all the way.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
So it's easier for me to switch them. And they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Is there any song that you love to listen to while riding? Or do you listen to music while you're riding?
I think I did that one time, like at a track day or something. And I was like too caught up in the music that I forgot like what I was doing on the bike. And so I was just, I didn't like really forget, but I was like, yeah, like I was like, oh shoot, like there's a turn right here. Like we got to downshift some gears and we got to take the corner, we got to brake for it. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. And also like I've done it, like I do a little bit of street riding. I have my motorcycle license, but I don't do a lot of street riding because nowadays it's like the roads are so it's so filled with people, and it's like people are distracted and just a lot of different like small things. But one of my favorite songs that I did listen to was "Girl on Fire" by Alicia Keys. That would be my song right there. And yes, and I think like that like made a video.
A good song to listen to while riding. Yes.
I mean, it's a true statement with what she was saying in the song. You know what I mean? So.
I gotta do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Mikayla, are you planning to come back to summer camp next year?
Yes. When I went there this year, it kind of worked out with my schedule because I think when you guys did your first summer camp, or there's an event that you guys had invited me out to, and I was like, oh, my schedule is... originally going to go, but then I think that fell in the same weekend as another like major event for me. So this time when I went, I was like, man, this is pretty cool. You know, see all the kids, you know, all the dirt bikes. Like, sure, it's not like motorcycles with some race body work on it, but you know, I mean, I remember when I was on the Yamaha TCR 50, you know, riding, and I've ridden, you know, the CR 450s and you know, things like that. And also I train in the dirt for my training. So for me, it was pretty cool, like seeing all the up and coming kids that's interested in the sport. Because for me, I love kids. I don't mind kids. Well, at least the good ones, because you know there'll be some kids that. Y'all parents need to get y'all kids. But that's a topic for another day. But, you know, it's pretty cool, like, seeing all the kids, because, you know, for me, it was, my opinion is there's a lot of kids that are introduced and they fall into the traditional way of the sports, like basketball, football, everything else. Yeah. But at least with dirt bikes, or even being a part of the motorsports industry, it's pretty cool to do something different. And I just feel like it's more so a little bit of a flex, because not everyone can say that they ride a dirt bike or anything like that. So when you do join the community, because the motorcycle community is so welcoming. It's not a space where you have to like, oh, do I fit in? Do I not fit in? I don't have any friends.
Different paths
it really is, because like
venture off.
Even doing like track days, and some of our friends be like, you know, I want to get into doing track days. I'm like, well, go there. They're like, yeah, but you guys aren't going to be there. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you this: you go there by yourself now. When you leave, you won't be going back by yourself, because you're gonna find some group or whatever, and everyone is always there for each other, and they also know like when you're a new guy, and so they make you feel more welcome.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for the next few years in racing? How do you plan to continue as a rider, and what would you like to achieve next?
So my goals in the next few years, so I'm 21 now, and so with Moto America, they have different classes, so I'm hoping to move up through the ranks. They have Twins Cup, so in my opinion, I feel like the ranks of, you know, where I did build train race, and then my next step will probably be Twins. After Twins will be Super Sport, probably stock 1000, if not like hooligans class. But for me, my main goal is always just to stay racing, because you know everyone knows that tomorrow isn't promised, and you know a lot of things can change. I mean, inflation has gone up a lot, and there's a lot of things that's getting more expensive for a lot of people, and there's people, and also just things that, you know, it's hard for people to still believe in this sport with it kind of dying down some, just because of how expensive things are getting. But for me, my goal is to stay racing and to just build my brand up to where everyone knows who Mikayla Moore is, especially being of color, you know, especially for the younger generation and the older generation, and just showing everyone like it doesn't matter what color you are or what gender you are. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all humans to do what we love to do, and we all have a passion that we all share, which is racing and riding. I plan to continue growing as a rider by just being myself. You know what I mean? And
that's
racing,
the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean that's like the best thing, because like you look at some racers and they keep it like so so business. I mean, sure, you have to keep it that way, but I feel like when you can bring more so the personality side out, people, they just, I don't know, they warm up to you more. Exactly, because they're like, yo, man, this is pretty cool. Like, sure, you're racing out there, but you still know how to come back in and have fun and, you know, fellowship with everyone. So that's my main thing, just being myself. What would I like to achieve next? Probably one of my goals I want to achieve next is racing full-time internationally, but everyone somewhat knows who I am in the U.S., but, you know, everyone knows where, you know, in the overseas, you know, it's a lot of, what's the word? It's the racing over there is so much, the views are 10 times higher, like everything, like everyone loves the racing over there. Not saying they don't love it here, but the viewerships and just the fans, the stands are always full of people, and so
that's for like everything, like
literally, like you can look at soccer or football over there, and it's like, holy cow, like all these people coming here, and like there are people that are like diehards. Like I come to this event every year, I get tickets in advance and things of that nature. So for me, I feel like, you know, if I get the opportunity to race overseas, that'd be pretty cool. Especially people like, yo, that's dope that a female can come over here and, you know, show us how it's done.
Well, thank you so much, Mikayla, for coming and joining the Be the Revolution podcast. It was wonderful to have you.
It was nice speaking with you.
To let everyone know where they can connect with you and support you.
Yep, so I have a website, MikaylaMooreRacing.com, and my Instagram is Mikayla_Moore03, and I'm also on Facebook with Mikayla Moore as my athletes page.
And before you go, we have a gift for you.
Thank you. Ride for the change, period. At least it ain't got no tape on it. Oh, I like this. It's funny because I do be drinking coffee too.
I know, somebody who doesn't just buy coffee.
Be the revolution.
Don't support the cause.
Period. Oh, I like the back part.
I have that painting. I won it.
Really?
Like a few years ago, and it's hanging up in my room. Actually, my dad won it. I stole it.
You said you did what?
He won it. I stole it. It was only right. Like, what's he gonna do with it? It's a rapper. Of course, the legendary.
Perfect. Oh, I like this.
T-shirt.
Period.
Yeah. Go shop merch. Link in bio.
I would like to thank B360, Be the Revolution, for having me today, and it was nice talking to Speak Treasure here.
And that's Be the Revolution out.